My bad. It's an interesting way to start the stream. But yeah, appreciate that Dennis. I forgot to unmute myself. So we'll run that back. We'll run it back. But yeah, today I just wanted to do a stream kind of contrasting the difference between 9 to 5 employees and independent contractors. And the way I said, or the reason why I said independent contractors, was because most individuals that this probably will pertain to are individuals that are running less than, say, 3 trucks, less than a fleet. That would be considered less than a fleet. So that's kind of why I labeled it as I did, being independent contractors or owner operators. Most individuals, for the most part, still run their own trucks. So that's why I labeled the stream the way I did. But I just kind of wanted to go through and contrast some of the differences to bring awareness, if you will, for new and upcoming individuals that are aspiring to start trucking companies and just, become their own entity, if you will. So as you guys roll in, hit the like button. I did this live stream in a different format because I wanted to open up the floor to kind of just create some engagement. I may drop the link if one of you guys want to come up and just offer your input on some of the differences. But I think it's a bunch of misinformation, first and foremost. And a lot of individuals, just to be blunt, don't know what they're facing. And it is not to discourage anybody from going out and seeking whatever business ventures they choose to. But as I stated, it's just kind of to bring awareness to individuals that are looking to start trucking companies in 2025 or later. So as you guys roll in, hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And yeah, if you guys want to come up, let me know. I'll drop the link, bring one of you guys up, let you kind of offer some of your input. No, it wasn't just you, Jay Dillard. I forgot to unmute myself. When I start the stream, I'm muted, so you can't hear what's going on in the background. And me not being so familiar with this style of stream, I forgot to unmute it. So no, it wasn't just you. Nobody could hear me. Yeah, no sound. G-frame. Appreciate all you guys for letting me know. That way I wasn't sitting up here talking for 30 minutes with no sound. So appreciate that. Barbara Lee, what's happening? What you got going on today? Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, but we're going to get right into it. I don't really want to make this too long-winded. But as I stated, if it's anybody that wants to come up, I'll drop the link. You can offer your input, and yeah, I do that here shortly. That way, if you guys want to tap in. But yeah, I just wanted to contrast some of the differences and go over the reasons why a lot of individuals want to leave their 9 to 5 and become business owners, not just in the trucking industry, but I get individuals that'll contact me because they want to start other businesses outside of trucking. So it's not just trucking independent contractors that follow my content. I also have a bunch of individuals in my personal life that often inquire about what different requirements are to start businesses. Most of these individuals, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, whatever you want to call it, they work an 8, 10, 12-hour shift each day. But they're looking to get out of what some people call the rat race. So pretty much, yeah, I just wanted to, like I said, go through some of the differences and just the reasons why a lot of individuals look to get out of the 9 to 5. We have a whole culture, a space, a genre, if you will, of individuals that make content specifically pertaining to not wanting to work a 9 to 5 job. It's a whole genre on YouTube. I quit my job on the first day. I was just watching one of those videos yesterday where an individual said he started at Amazon, and that's the way he labeled the video, but he actually wasn't working for Amazon, which most people aren't. He was working for the DSP. And from what he was touching on, he said that he quit after his first day. I believe he said that he had 190 some odd stops. And once he went in and he completed the first day, he decided he wasn't going back. And it was kind of a humorous video because some of what he was talking about was not only did he have, I guess, 194 stops, not packages, but stops within his shift, but he was barely able to probably complete half of that, I believe. So I guess, and this is new to me, he was rescued multiple times by other drivers within his DSP. I guess that's a thing where if you fall behind, they'll have other drivers come out and rescue. So he said he was rescued multiple times within the shift, his first shift ever, which is kind of to be expected. You know, it's a learning curve when you start anything. So he was out, he said he was rescued multiple times. And he just said once he kind of gauged the workload and just different things of that nature, he decided he wasn't going back. And yeah, he was not ashamed or bothered by it. He was definitely a younger individual, probably under 30 years old. And yeah, he quit his first day, Amazon DSP. So a lot of individuals that encounter these type of situations will seek out, you know, becoming their own entity, their own boss, whatever you want to call it. And it's a bunch of that. You know, younger individuals nowadays frown upon working at a company for 20, 30, 40 years. You know, back in the day, that was a flex. You know, you get with a company, a good company, you put your time in, build a 401k, a pension, and then you retire. Well, that's highly frowned upon in today's younger community, especially individuals under 30 years old. You know, they don't want to go work a job for even 10 years for anybody. You know, everybody nowadays wants to essentially be their own boss. So that's why I wanted to touch on this topic. And the number one reason why I feel like a lot of individuals don't want to work a 9 to 5. And I'm going to just be 100% honest with you. This was the reason why, a big part of the reason why I wanted to start my own business. And that being that individuals, especially nowadays, do not want to listen to other individuals or be told what to do. And that's just point blank, period. Individuals do not want to be bossed around. They don't want to have a supervisor hovering over them, telling them what to do, instructing their every move, when they go on break, when they go to the bathroom, and so forth. And once again, just being frank, We have a more unruly society nowadays. And that's why it's more so frowned upon, the 9 to 5 everyday grind. Individuals just don't want to do it. And it can be challenging, especially for certain personality types. I felt like my personality type did not mesh well with the 9 to 5 environment. As I stated, and I'm just being honest, I did not like individuals telling me what to do, and not just any individuals, because if you are experienced and qualified and you offering valuable information to the process, then I'm with it. But it's individuals that'll come onto operation and under the instruction of management come in and try to change things that the last 5 supervisors came in and attempted to change. They failed because the changes were impossible. Those supervisors were gotten rid of, and then you get a guy that come in and he's gun-ho, and it just swears by changing an operation that is running at that point efficiently as possible with the equipment, the staff, and so forth that's available. So yeah, that's what I didn't kind of, take a liking to. As I stated, will have individuals that come in and due to whatever management has told them, will think that they can make a person go from running 28 parts a night to 35. And they've already tested multiple different processes and programs to try to make this happen in the past. I've been here for years in this same department. I've seen them run all these tests. I've been a part of all of the tests. I ran the machines when they implemented them. They did not work. So then you get another guy that want to come up here and swear that he can change, the process, fix the problems, and push up the numbers. And they come in, they're confused, they mistaken, and misinformed. This all set up by management. They know very well that the numbers that the operators are hitting, and I'm just speaking from a warehouse type of environment. They already know that the numbers that are being pushed out are pretty much the best that these individuals can do. But it's propaganda within, those warehouse environments in order to, it's an ulterior motive that, these companies work towards. And that's a lot of what we've seen lately, kind of with the back and forth between Amazon and their employees and the Teamsters Union and so forth. So we just see a lot of this in these environments. And, like a lot of those guys, they're looking to get into a union, and the union can be a good thing in certain situations. And I'm going to just be honest with you, in other situations, they can be 100% useless. And they pick and decide when they want to represent or fight, their hardest for what particular cases and certain individuals. And of course, because you pay dues, they have to represent you. But that's just like a public defender. They do not have to do a good job. They can do enough just to get you from point A to point B, wherever point B may be. That's their job, to get through the processes of the disciplinary process, whatever grievances have been filed, safety complaints, and so forth. But as I stated, you just got to be careful what you wish for, because I've been in the union. And situations where I was 100% right usually didn't go in my favor. And situations where I'm like, okay, I can kind of agree with that, they represented me and I won. So as I stated, it can get tricky. And they're gonna tell you whatever they, like I said, they kind of like, to me, public defenders. They get you from point A to point B in the process of, whatever's the issue that's being brought up, just to get you out of there here. And either way it go, you gotta pay monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, however they do the dues where you are employed. But like I said, I've seen a union at times be 100% useless, and you still got to pay the money. So you just got to be careful what you wish for on that end. Yeah, the number one reason that most individuals, want out of the 9 to 5, day to day is, as I stated, due to not wanting to listen to higher ups or being told what to do. Another thing that a lot of individuals bring up or talk about as to why they want to get out of the 9 to 5 day to day is financial freedom. That comes up all of the time. And I'm kind of jumping ahead. Something else that I'm just going to touch on before I get too far ahead of myself. The individuals that figure when they start a trucking company or any style of business, those individuals that think that once they do so, there won't be anyone that they need to listen to or misinform. First and foremost, you have the FMCSA, which you 100% have to adhere to. When they reach out to you, you got 30 days to figure it out, or they deactivate on the 30th day. They're going to tell you what day they're going to deactivate, and don't adhere to whatever the circumstances they set forth, you out of there. That's why a lot of trucking companies don't last more than a couple years. Because first and foremost, you got to conform to all of the FMCSA guidelines. You also have the Secretary of State and your annual filings reporting of who's the particular business owner for that particular upcoming year and so forth. You got to listen to the Secretary of State. The brokers, when they provide you with these loads, they see you right on the grid. They know exactly where you at. They still gonna call and purposely ask you every time I start doing a live. And they're gonna purposely ask you, knowing your location, where you at? You see me. You know you see me. Before you let me take this load, you made me install an app, log in, and provide my location. I put the phone on always allow. I went through this a lot when I was in a Sprinter. Hey, where you at? Hey, where's the GPS? Like, where's the grid? What computer are you using that you do not see me? And this is something irritating that brokers do. They call you sometimes every 10 to 15 minutes for a location update. You just talked to them 15 minutes ago. Hey, I just need an update. The customer want to know, where are you right now? 10 to 15 minutes from where I was at the last time you called. Like, I can't go no faster. I got 65. That's all the van gonna do. So this is something you deal with. You got to listen to brokers. When you go in these 3PLs, Amazon facilities, and so forth, You have ship clerks, yard attendants, and so forth. You got to listen to them too. So see, once you leave your 9 to 5 job and you go through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of starting your own business, you still got to listen to people. You still have to be able to follow instruction. You still have to know how to carry yourself amongst other individuals in different environments in public. So either way it go, and it's just to let you know, you're still going to have to listen to somebody. You're not going to get away from that. You're going to have to follow rules one way or another. Now, it will be to different degrees. With a business, of course, it's a different level of freedom, but you still have to listen to people. So that's just something to think about. We got almost 20 people in here. If you in here right now and you have not hit the like button, hit the like button for me. Next, as I was kind of getting to before I kind of got sidetracked, because I just wanted to touch on that because I feel like a lot of individuals don't understand that you're going to have to listen to somebody one way or another. But the main thing a lot of other individuals bring up is financial freedom. This is like one of the first things you hear when individuals bring up starting their own business. And I'm just being 100% honest today. You know, it's just that type of day. A lot of these box truck businesses are not financially free. Just being 100% honest. A lot of trucking companies in general, outside of box truckers, have ruined a lot of lives. They've created a lot of debt that some individuals will never be able to recover from. They never gonna come back from it. So when you go out and you seek these businesses out, you have to understand that for the first couple years, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be making a fortune. You're going to be figuring things out, working your way along, you know, getting accustomed to the day-to-day operations of running a business on your own. And most individuals don't have a bunch of systems set up when they start out in order to assist them. They take most of this stuff on their own. So that's something to think about as well when you start these businesses coming from a 9 to 5. It's structured there where you're coming from. Your business is going to be structured by you. It is what you make it. So there are no guarantees. You know, it's safe at a 9 to 5. And I'm just being 100% honest. It's safer there. Out here, you have to be prepared for the unknown. So that's something that I just advise individuals to think about. Always have some type of plan B because it's unpredictable out here. You know, you have to have something to fall back on. I always tell individuals as well, you know, to try to have some type of backup hustle or something else that you do to make money. because when business slows down right now, unpredictable event, weather, you know, we got this big storm coming through, which is going to affect freight and the rates. You know, the rates will increase due to inclement weather. But at the same time, at what cost? They're saying that we're going to see sheets of ice with packed snow on top of it. And the bulk of it is going to be right here in the Midwest. They saying right along that Indiana, Kentucky border is level 4. It's going to be one of the worst areas pertaining to sleet, ice, and snow. It's individuals that booked loads 3 and 4 days ago at regular rates. And now they have to adhere, especially with Amazon. Now they have to adhere to and run those loads. That's something that I was talking about in the past as well, which is slightly off topic, but still relevant. You know, individuals book loads days in advance. And I was just saying how I feel like a lot of those individuals are brave because I don't know what's going to happen 2 days from now, 3 days from now, and so forth, especially in the wintertime with, you know, the temperatures suddenly dropping and so forth. I like to see my truck started and ran for a period of time before I actually go to booking 2 and 3 loads for the rest of the week and, you know, low inclement weather. So I admire individuals that schedule like that. If you got 2 or 3 trucks, one of them should run. Then go ahead and book you a load or 2. But with 1 truck and you done booked yourself up for the whole week, especially with something like Amazon, when we already know that, you know, they are going to discipline you to the highest extent, I'd be careful booking them loads all week long in advance and you don't have some type of backup truck or some available to run them just in case you get into some type of sticky situation. If you're in here right now and you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button for me one time. Somebody, anybody, be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I want to touch on that as well. You know, a lot of box truck businesses right now, and you know, trucking gets rough. Things get expensive, maintenance comes up, stuff happens. So, as I was stating, a lot of these box truck businesses, trucking companies in general, are not financially free. So that's just something to think about. You know, you gotta, when you come out here, and I don't discourage anybody, you know, because nobody was gonna discourage me. When I started my trucking company, I was in a warehouse environment. I was a CNC operator, had been so for 8 years, and I was ready to go. I was tired of going in that place day in, day out, dealing with the nonsense, everything, the union, the supervisors, my co-workers. I ain't like none of it. I just had an individual, he does like my sound systems and things of that nature. He owns like a sound shop. And he came by, he was looking at my truck because I'm gonna put like some head lights on the front. And he was just telling me, man, I've been really thinking about doing this. And I'm like, doing what? And he like, what you doing? And so I'm like, you know, man, you want to get up out of the sound shop and, you know, and he was like, yeah, I'm just tired of dealing with people. And I thought this guy would be a people person. But people are crazy nowadays. Like they nutty. So, you know, yeah, you know, a lot of people want to deal with as little people as possible. I don't know what's going on. I promise they pumping something into like the food and the water and everything. But yeah, man, the world and people in general, the things that they choose to do with their time and the way they live their life, they wild. And this was something I was talking about, just privately. It just seemed like it ain't a whole lot of happiness no more. Not genuine happiness. It's a lot of fake happiness. The couples ain't coupling no more. I feel like people be with people they don't even want to be with them folks. If a person dating somebody and somebody else don't want them, or they don't think somebody hating on them or jealous of they dump them, they want to get somebody else that people jealous of. Like, what is this? Back in the day, people would pick the person they wanted. That's the apple in my eye. And they want to be with that person forever. Man, people out here nowadays dating for clout. And due to that, they unhappy. They don't like them people. I'm just being 1,000. Like, these people, they don't like, it's just a lot of fake energy out here. And, you just gotta, keep a clear head. I see through a lot of what, go on nowadays. And I'm very attentive. Even when I act like I ain't paying attention, I pay very close attention to just different stuff that goes on around me. And yeah, it ain't a lot of genuine happiness no more. Like in the 90s when people used to just genuinely go to the park and barbecue and kick it, enjoy it, and not think about nobody else. Like people out kicking it and partying, but they got other people on their mind that they low key in the back of their head secretly competing with. People be competing with people that don't even know they exist. And gaslighting the other people around them, talking about, yeah, buddy hating on me. Man, buddy don't know you exist. We all got family members like that. You stay into it with somebody talking about they hate. Man, that man don't know you exist, bro. He ain't thinking about you, bro. You tripping. Then you gaslight me. Man, buddy, buddy bugging, man. Bro, leave me alone. Come to me with that nonsense about people. Like I said, people competing with people that don't even know they exist. Then be gaslighting the other people around them. Then end up feeling defeated in the end. How you lose to somebody that didn't even know y'all was racing? Like, in my opinion, that's a different type of defeat. And yeah, I'm off topic, but I just see a lot of this in society. And, I got that third eye. I see through a lot of the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And it's a bunch of it going on right now in society. So you just got to protect your peace. And yeah, I don't know. Do what make you happy, because yeah, it ain't a lot left, man. And if you got it, it's a blessing. I feel like I'm genuinely a happy person. And, I feel blessed by that, because yeah, when I look around and I just pay attention, I be like, man, all this, it's a bunch of fake bull stuff I can't say on YouTube going on around here. And it is. Then it just create a certain type of energy. I like to, you see people go enjoy. People don't go on vacations no more. Okay, they don't go nowhere. And I don't know if it's a money thing. I think it's, a big part of the problem. And I'm just being 100% honest, was I believe the money that they gave out, a while back. If you're in here right now and you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button for me one time. All that money that they gave people, that was fake. People was running around fake rich, buying stuff that they can't afford, living lifestyles they've never lived. And then it all crashed. It all crashed. And I think people are now so miserable that they don't got that money no more. And no means of actually getting it, because everybody broke. So I think that's just created a lot of misery these last couple years because, yeah, people different right now. And they just be at the crib just there, mad and miserable. It's just crazy, man. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to move on. I'm going to get off of that. That's for one of the late night live streams. You know, right now I want to talk about why people want out of the 9 to 5s and, what they facing when they go into these businesses. Once again, if you hear you have not hit the like button, hit the like button for me one time. Do me a solid. The next thing that you hear after financial freedom, because that always is the second thing. First thing, they don't want to listen to nobody. They don't want to be told what to do. Secondly, I want financial freedom. I want to, get out of the rat race. Third, most individuals want to make their own schedules. It's another misconception that comes up often. Individuals, biology, they got me working this 11 to 7. I don't like this 11 to 7. I need, to make my own schedule, work when I want to work, be at home when I want to be at home, be on vacation when I want to be on vacation, and so forth. So they want to quit the 9 to 5 so they can make their own schedule. And like I said, it's not only another misconception, but we, as owner operators, out here on a day-to-day basis, rarely ever make our own schedules. We have to run when the money runs. We have to go where the money goes. We have to run when the truck's running. So that's something that individuals need to realize as well. You need to be running when the truck running because it's going to break down. When that truck breaks down, you're not going to have nothing to do. That's your vacation right there. That's your time off right there. When the truck break down. So you have to think about that. If your truck is running well, operating fine, and you not having a bunch of issues, then you need to be in it running. Because eventually one day, whether it be 30, 60, 90 days, maybe if you're lucky a year down the line, it's gonna break down. So that's something for you to think about when you're saying, well, I want to make my own schedule. Owner operators don't always make their own schedule. Actually, we rarely do. Like I said, we got to run when the truck running, when the freight running, when the money moving. So you're not going to be able to always make your own schedule because you own a trucking company. Most owner operators and people that have trucking companies are seeking out dedicated work to move these trucks on a day-to-day basis. Dedicated work comes with a schedule, obligations where you need to be there on a day-to-day basis. Once again, you're not going to be making your own schedule. What people aspire to have, the dedicated routes come with a schedule. So that's a misconception as well. And once again, I encourage individuals to follow their dreams. You couldn't tell me not to start a trucking company. It's individuals that tried it. It didn't work because I was going to do it regardless. But do it informed. Do it understanding what you're going to be facing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, year-to-year basis when you're running a business in general, outside of a trucking company, any business. Understand what you're facing, before you jump in essentially that water. That way you have a high rate for success. But yeah, that comes up all the time. I want to make my own schedule. And you're not going to always make your own schedule and, be able to do what you want to do because you own a business. That needs to be understood. If you're in here right now, you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button for me one time. House payment is too high. Can't afford it. What y'all talking about? Because of phones. Yep, phones, social media, yeah, all that comparison. Yes. I'm just looking at the comments real quick. How much you guys pay for insurance? It varies. Right now I'm paying, and mine's accidentally went down. I shot my I shot my insurance at the end of my term, and that's another thing. Geico is now offering commercial insurance. So that's something for you guys to think about that's watching. If shopping insurance, Geico is going commercial. So you could get a commercial policy with Geico. Whereas in the past, you weren't able to. Geico, State Farm, they don't do commercial. Well, they didn't do commercial policies, and they are A-rated insurance carriers. But it could vary. Right now, I'm paying right up under 800. I've paid Progressive tried to get me into a year's term at 2,200 a month, and that's when I left. So Progressive gonna get you first and foremost. It ain't to talk down on them, but I would avoid them if you could. And yeah, once you are pretty much shopping around, the smaller carriers pertaining to commercial insurance are probably going to be your best option. But it could range from between, I know somebody that's paying, I think, a little over 500 or 600. And as I stated, you got A, B, C, D, L, E, F, well, A, B, C, D, F rated commercial insurance carriers. And that matters pertaining to the loads you're going to be able to pull. So when you seeking out commercial insurance, you want to make sure that, I'm going to say, just go with an A-rated carrier. That would be my advice. But it's going to range between about, on the low, 600. On the high, I've heard close to 3,000. It all depends on your driving record and so forth. So it's going to be years in business. That's going to be a determining factor as well. And also infractions pertaining to the FMCSA with your motor carrier authority are all things that commercial insurance providers look at when they determine what rate they're going to give you, or if they're going to deal with you at all. Some of these companies won't insure you, depending on what you may or may not have on your driving history, or, as I stated, your motor carrier authority. So that's just something to think about. But the insurance, it ranges, from 600 to on the high, and I mean crazy high end, 3,000 a month for one truck. Let me clear that up. That's for one truck. So I think most individuals that have been in business 2 to 3 years are probably paying around 1,000, maybe 1,500, if they just going with the flow and just letting you know the insurance turn over and they don't really look or seek out. Because a lot of people got on with Progressive, they're comfortable there, so they don't want to switch insurance companies because it just seems easy. But that can end up costing you a lot of money and the long run. So yeah, you want to shop around for insurance. But just to answer your question, I know that was kind of long-winded, but a lot of people don't know about the rating on these insurance carriers. So they'll get in a commercial policy, go back to a broker that they used to work with, and then realize that broker now won't work with them because they have a B-rated commercial insurance carrier. And all of this just pertains to how they pay out claims, what their rating with the Better Business Bureau is, and so forth. They put a rating on the commercial insurance providers, and that determines, what, happens with different brokers, because some brokers just won't deal with it. And, that's the thing. They'll look at your insurance, see who your carrier is, and then they won't provide you with any loads because of that. And you've already put down a down payment and are well into the policy, and you can't get loads with particular brokers. So you either got to try to cancel out, which that's going to take at least 60 days and probably cost you a nice chunk of change, or just wait to the following year in order to, you know, renew with a different carrier. So yeah, that's just something to think about with insurance. My insurance 1,200 per truck. Yeah, G Frank, that sounds about right. Like I said, about 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 should be about the normal range. Once they start getting crazy, it'd be 2,000 and higher. But it's some type of extenuating circumstances that's causing them to give you that type of premium, because yeah, it should be right around for a lot of the newer guys. I've been in business now 6 years. Most individuals 2, maybe 3. So it's a difference. But yeah, you just have to kind of shop around, and there are still better options for newer authorities. You just gotta do the research. Most people want to get in real quick, and yeah, running warrior, what's happening? Appreciate you. Yeah, G Frank. So you what, 46, 40, almost 5,000, but for 4 trucks and the money you could make, you know, that's not bad. 1,200. If I had to, I would do 1,200. Some of these insurance, the premiums are so crazy that I don't even think I would just even entertain, running a trucking company at those rates, because it's just gonna eat up so much of your profit and cause your overhead to be so high. So, that's just something to think about, you know. But yeah, that's, you know, that on insurance. And I'm glad to be able to clear that up. But yeah, a lot of individuals, the fourth reason, after, making their own schedule, that individuals want to get out of the 9 to 5 environment, is to create generational wealth, or pass their business down as a family business. this is something you always hear as well. You know, people want to create generational wealth with a trucking company and be able to pass that on to, other individuals later on down the line. And I don't know what I really think about that. What I will say is something that I touched on a little earlier in the stream, and that being that most trucking companies fail within the first 2 years, in my opinion. It's a high turnover rate, and it's hard to source reliable help. So that's something that a lot of individuals need to think about as well. It is a high turnover rate in trucking. You have to come in with a mindset as if, you ready for whatever. Come in expecting a struggle. When I started my business in 2019, I talked to an individual that was extremely successful in business, and he was in like IT. But I sat down and I talked to him, and something that he was telling me was that the first 2 to 3 years in business, he did not make any money. He said that if it was not for his wife, he wouldn't have made it. It was just due to her holding certain aspects of the household and financial dealings down while he was able to figure out business. Because as I stated, when you starting out, a lot of individuals don't have systems in place in order to assist them, pertaining to your numbers, books, records, taxes, payroll, and so forth. You know, Individuals want to start a trucking company, and sometimes, and we're gonna kind of get to that because I kind of don't want to. I don't want to, spoil it. But yeah, we'll get to it. But yeah, people kind of think that they'll start a trucking company and fall into a certain type of role, and you know, wipe their hands of all of you know the dirty work, if you will. And that's oftentimes not the case. So as I stated with the creating generational wealth, and it's possible. Something that I tell individuals to think about first and foremost would be, would you want to, and this takes kind of an understanding of an owner operator and what they go through and face just day to day, in these trusts. But would you want, you know, your kids, grandchildren, their kids and their grandchildren to be a truck driver? But also kind of taking into play what happens on a day-to-day basis, in the trucking industry, health factors, and so forth. You have to think of that. Do I want my kids or their kids, in a truck, or, just dealing, because this is another thing, it's a mental side of, you know, running a trucking company. As I stated, you're adhering to the FMCSA, the Secretary of State, the brokers, ship clerks. It's a bunch of people pulling at you and, pushing you in different directions. You don't just wander around at your own will. So even if you're not in the truck, it's day-to-day stresses that you're going to deal with pertaining to maintenance, the way the load's moving, issues you might have with drivers if you're not in the truck, and so forth. So this is something you got to think about if you want to be passing down. In my opinion, I look at a trucking company, and I always have, as more so a stepping stone to get to my next entrepreneurial venture. And sometimes it takes time. It could take 10 years, maybe 15, but I don't necessarily want to run a trucking company or even have a trucking company forever. And that's just kind of my viewpoint on it. Whatever times it takes you to get from this venture to your next venture, then cool. But me looking at it as a 40, 50, 60-year thing, not so much. I already kind of know where I'm headed, business wise, because none of this stuff lasts forever. And that's something that a lot of individuals need to understand as well. Life in general is just full of ups and downs. The trucking industry more so. And we've seen it. Like I said, I've been in since 2019. It feels like 15 years to me, just through so many different transitions that we've been through. And from COVID to PPP to different elections to people forgot about when they was breaking in all of the stores and stealing all of the merchandise. Like, I remember all of that vividly. So stuff is happening so much that people then forgot about, the shutdown and COVID. They don't even remember when people was locked in the house for, so there's so much going on that it's easy to forget how much has taken place just in the last 5 years in the trucking industry. So, it is what it is, but it's just constant changes, that individuals need to think about. And then, like I said, think about if that's something you want to pass down, or would you rather use your trucking company as a stepping stone, plan, some other type of entrepreneurial venture, and then seek that out and then pass that down. Because I think it's a lot of other businesses that'll be a lot more fitting than a trucking company if you're looking to create generational wealth and pass down a business. It's a lot of other stuff that you could get into, more futuristic, businesses, robotics, IT. It's a lot of stuff that you could look into. Machine, it's just a bunch. So that's something that I would think about on the generational wealth side. Once again, not to try to take down anybody's dreams or, but I think it's just a misconception, with these trucking companies that they're going to last forever. Even with, like they got the Tesla truck, I ain't heard of. That's another thing, came up, it went. But it's here, automated trucks and so forth. How those are going to work, I don't know. Do I really believe in them? Not really, because an automated robotic truck is not going to take the place of an actual owner, operator, or a driver. It's certain things that those trucks are not going to be able to do. I'm sure they could do a bunch of the tasks allotted to drivers, but they can't take stuff in and out of these different places and so forth. Now, if they're going to go to as far as to put robots on the truck, then now they, going crazy. That's a whole different aspect of it. But all of this stuff could be tying into anything. Like I said, you just the world different now, people wise. So we never know. But I would, me personally, look into something that, like I said, is more fitting if you're going into thinking about trying to, pass down a business. But if you want to, run a trucking company for 50, 60 years, by all means, do so. Me, just my personal opinion, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. So that's my take on the, creating generational wealth, because that's always something that comes up. And the next reason a lot of individuals want to get out of their 9 to 5 and become business owners is because they want to essentially, and this is something I was just talking about and I said I wasn't going to reveal, essentially play a boss role. They want to quit their job, hire a driver, and relinquish the duties onto that driver and supervise everything from home. That's, a lot of individuals in the 9 to 5 day-to-day grind that, that's their intentions, to relinquish the duties to a driver. And then it's a lot of misinformation with this. Something else I don't advise, a lot of individuals tend to depend on friends, family, and so forth, in starting business and saying, well, I'm going to build my business up to this by hiring my cousin. Me and my cousin, we're going to do it. And then your cousin telling you, yeah, I'm down. Go ahead, get the equipment, get the insurance. I'm with it. I guarantee you at some point going that route, you'll encounter issues. And a lot of individuals figure it out, over, the long term. In this thing we call business, oftentimes you on your own. People will tell you anything. That's another thing. People are not reliable in today's society, and they don't feel bad about telling you something, then letting you down. They don't care about that. They don't care about you. They don't care about your business. And this is why I would not advise individuals to be dependent on friends, family, and so forth in order to build and scale a business. You likely going to be let down. In my opinion, you better off hiring off Indeed.com. And that's just me being 100% honest. You may get an individual close to you that comes into your entity and purposely try to bring it down. So this is something to think about, because that's a misconception. Individuals think they can hire their cousins and all these other individuals to scale their business. And 3 months in, they all alone. Everybody folded. You now own your own. So that's just something to think about, as well. People want to come in, I'm going to get the equipment, hire my cousin, throw him in the truck, everything going to be good. Wrong. Once again, 9 times out of 10 in business, you're going to be on your own. That's just from my experiences. I had a bunch of people, not one, not two, but a bunch of people make me promises. Man, I'm down. I'm really ready. All this different stuff. And in the end, who's still doing this? Who got to get it done on a day-to-day basis? Me. I don't know where them people at. And they don't feel bad about lying. That's the point. And it's not even a lie, because I don't beg people to do anything for me. You shouldn't either. Be self-sufficient. Be independent. That's why I'm telling individuals, if you want to start a business, then expect to do it on your own. If you need help, you hire and implement systems in order to run that business. You don't depend on other individuals because you likely will be let down. And that's just being 100% honest. So don't go into business not wanting to do any other work, not wanting to get your hands dirty, depending on other individuals to scale and build you up. You are more likely to be successful, as I stated, by looking outward and just screening those individuals in really well. That's your best bet. You know, you may have some people, you know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you got people close to you, you know, that's gonna do what they said that they gonna do 9 times out of 10, they got some money involved. You know, they money involved in the business. So they don't want to lose either. When it's your money, they down to lose it. You know, they'll put you straight out of business. Sometimes you get drivers that are mischievous. You know, I've heard of individuals having drivers, you know, after they parted ways with them, talking to brokers and playing with their DOT numbers, messing up and trashing resources on the low. See, this is what you're going to deal with. That's why a lot of individuals would rather do it on their own. So that's just something to think about. You know, you're going to go through and encounter all of this. Go hire you some people. You know, just hire the first 5 people you find on Indeed.com. Once you're done with them people in like 3 weeks, come back and tell me how it worked out. 3 weeks max, I give them 5 people. You tell me how it turned out. Because that's another thing. Like, you will bring 3 people in. It was a point where I was hiring 3 people at a time. Within 3 days, I would have 1. It's like a revolving door. So that's something to be expected. As I stated, it's not easy to source reliable help. People say they're reliable. People say they're going to do certain stuff. Once again, they do not do it, and they don't feel bad about it. People not going to feel bad about letting you down or essentially taking a poop on your business. They don't care. That's the society we live in, you know, nowadays. People don't work for you. On the last day, say, hey, I appreciate the opportunity, shake your hand like a man, leave and go on about their life. Nah, they don't do that. They gonna tear up some shit before they get up out of there. Something getting damaged or going wrong. Some gonna be late or undelivered. The truck might end up in a strange spot. Something gonna happen though. So that's what you gotta think about on a day-to-day basis when you sourcing and hiring help. Things happen. So you really don't want to, you know, put all your eggs in one basket or be too dependent on certain individuals in order to scale or grow your business. If you're here right now in attendance and you have not hit the like button thus far, do me a favor and hit the like button. So that's the, I don't know, 5th, 6th thing that a lot of individuals tend to, you know, base leaving their 9 to 5 off of. You know, they want to essentially just be a boss from home and run their operation from home. And that's something else that I would always tell people. Out here, you're going to have to get your hands dirty. The most successful individuals are the individuals that are willing to get down and do whatever it takes on a day-to-day basis to push that business forward. Those are the individuals that see the most success, especially in the trucking industry. But in any business, you know, you lead by example. So if you're a lazy leader, you're going to have lazy employees. If you're an ignorant leader, a belligerent leader, you know, these are the type of drivers that you're going to produce. And I see owner operators all the time with drivers, you know, amongst them, and they're working with them. I wouldn't say showing them the ropes, but some people get out there and, you know, they do it with the drivers on a regular basis. If they got time, they'll go out and lend a helping hand. But I also see the way some of these owner operators carry themselves and different things that they do in public that they okay with letting their drivers see them do. And then they wonder why they encounter a lot of the issues that they do. And that's something that I pay attention to as well. You'll have owner operators out here with their employees, and you're supposed to be setting an example. But you out here doing weird stuff that don't make no sense. That if they in return do when you're not around, you may get a phone call saying, hey, don't bring such and such back here no more. He's stealing pallet jacks. Knowingly stealing pallet jacks on camera. You know it ain't yours. But you're in here playing games, touching stuff that don't belong to you. You own people trucks. You know, it's a lot of little weird stuff that go on, and it don't be a mistake. A lot of people have set stuff down and somebody walk right up and purposely roll away with it. And then this create a bunch of chaos, people running around, arguing with people. So this is just something, you know, that I think about. The example you set for your drivers on a day-to-day basis when you're out there with them is the, you know, standard that they're going to feel that's acceptable. You can't tell them, you know, do as I say, not as I do. They're not going to listen to that. So, you know, you got to lead by example out here on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, another thing that I hear come up as to why a lot of individuals tend to depart their 9 to 5. And this is a thing as well, you know, they say, hey, I want to remove that ceiling or that salary cap. If you're in here right now, you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button for it. Yeah, they say they want to remove that ceiling or that salary cap. And that's something that I think about as well. Because with these trucking companies, like I said, they've left a lot of individuals in ruins. At times, or sometimes, you may remove that ceiling and inadvertently end up in a cage with no way out. So they say, hey, I want to remove that ceiling. You know, I want to, you know, it's a cap on what I can make on it. You know, I got to get out. And removing that ceiling, as I stated, can land you in a cage, closed and boxed in with no means or way out. You have to educate yourself and make sure you know what you're facing when you remove that ceiling. Because I've heard that a few different times, you know, and from individuals that make decent amounts of money, over 100,000 a year, and they're willing to walk away from that in order to essentially remove that ceiling. That's the misconception that, they're going to walk away from their job and somehow double their income. And that's not always the case. Do you have individuals that leave 9 to 5s, step into the business world, and are successful? Yes, all the time. Does that normally happen right away? No, hardly ever. So that's something for individuals just to think about, when you removing that ceiling. You know, Sometimes these trucking companies, you know, essentially just turn out to be a trap for misinformed individuals who just did not do the research in order to understand, what happens out here on a day-to-day basis, what we face and go through, just attempting to be successful in any type of business. Only the strong gonna survive out here, and yeah, it's just, yeah, like I said, it can be a trap for certain people, and pertaining to like just contracts, dedicated routes, and things of that nature. With these employers, most of them, like I said, they got a union, they have a disciplinary process, so forth. With these contracts, dedicated routes, day-to-day processes in trucking in general, you can be let go at any time, with or without just cause. Let me say that. They don't have to have a real reason. Most of the time, unless it's some type of mass layoffs where everybody got to go, it's events leading up to you being removed involuntarily from an employee. That's not the case with a trucking company. They don't have to let you know anything. They simply say, hey, today was the last day. We appreciate you. We'll let you know if we need anything else further. And that's that. So you have to understand that there are no guarantees day to day in business. The only guarantee is you and what you're going to do day to day. That's the only thing that you can guarantee. But as far as, anything being permanent or forever, that's a misconception. That's why I say it's somewhat slightly safer, even on a 9 to 5. If they own you and they want you, they gonna get you out of it. But like I said, in business, it's usually without just cause. It's just, hey, this is what's happening today. For whatever reason, whether we brought in staff, got our own trucks, hired somebody else, whatever. But that's what we face day to day in business. It's also something that individuals just starting up just to think about. Prepare yourself. With these 9 to 5s, you often have healthcare, dental, a matching 401k, a thoroughly completed W-2 at the end of the year that breaks everything down. You just take it to the tax service and boom, pay $200, $300, you good. That's not the case. We have no health care. That's on us. We have no dental. That's on us. You are your own 401k provider. That's on us. We file our own taxes. You don't get a completed W-2 form. Either you or an individual that's familiar with numbers in business and taxes and so forth have to go through and do your own numbers at the end of the year. And the IRS still expects those numbers to be correct. They don't care that this is your first year in business. You know, you have no experience filing taxes. They don't care about any of that. You know, what they care about is what you made versus what you owe. That's what they want to know. You know, that's what they need to get to the bottom of. They don't care that you're a new business. And you didn't understand that at the end of the year, you were supposed to report earnings of $160,000. A lot of people don't make that their first year. But you do have individuals that make that amount of money and don't file no taxes. It's a recipe for disaster. You know, it will catch up with you. So that's something to think about. No healthcare, no dental. You the 401k. You the tax preparation professional. It's all on you. So that's something I think a lot of individuals don't understand or take into account as well. You know, it has to get done one way or another. All of these things eventually are going to matter. Maybe not now, but later on down the line. And, you know, it's just something to think about. After removing that ceiling, because, yeah, that was a big one. I want to remove the ceiling and so forth. One of the last things that I hear is that individuals want to create a stream of passive income. This comes up as well on multiple different occasions. Individuals have stated this to me. I've seen this stated to other individuals on, like I said, a bunch of different occasions. I want to create a stream of passive income. And in my opinion, my humble opinion, this type of income is not passive. It's hands-on, as I stated. It requires you to be there a nice percentage of the time. Actually, it's the exact opposite. It's aggressive. You know, you need to be involved in the day-to-day dealings within your business in order to scale and be successful. So it's definitely, like I said, not a passive source of income. It's very hands-on and requires a great deal of attention. So that's just something to think about. And everything that I went through today, as I stated, is not to discourage anybody. It's just I want to give you a set of things that you can look back on and say, okay, he did mention this, because it will be encountered. Maybe not now, but eventually. Everything that I've touched on within this live stream pertaining to leaving a job and starting a business, even outside of a trucking company, it will be encountered. One day you will need to hire employees if you plan to scale any business. You can't do it on your own. So you're going to have to find help, hire people, and so forth. There's no way around it. And that's why I felt like this was a great topic of discussion, because a lot of people are on the fence. You know, like I said, it's a whole culture out here right now of individuals on social media, YouTube, and so forth, you know, the quit my job culture. So that's why I just want to put this out for those types of individuals, just to come in prepared, because the more you know and understand on the way in, the more you'll be able to endure. And I feel like the greater results you'll see over the long haul. You know, that's why I'm touching on all of these, you know, different scenarios. And yeah, essentially, you know, hiring, you firing, your HR, you're a CPA, you filing taxes. You know, you got to maintain certificates, your BOC3, UCR. You got to adhere to the clearinghouse. You got annual filings for the Secretary of State. You know, all of these are things that you have to tend to. You got to make sure all of your drivers are getting updated med cards every 2 years when they're operating your vehicle. So all of this, you know, is going to come in to play. You also need to understand how to organize, budget, schedule, and plan. All of this is going to be part of your role as the business owner. So yeah, I just pretty much gave you, you know, everything that I can think of off the top of my head that, you know, affects a lot of individuals when departing the 9 to 5 day to day and moving into becoming a business owner. You know, it's going to be obstacles that arise, and the more prepared that you are to face these different obstacles, the more information that you have, you know, stored in your backpack, that's going to heighten your chances for being successful out here on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, in my opinion, most trucking companies do not last more than a couple years. And that's sometimes on the higher end. You know, sometimes it's a trap and it creates a bunch of debt for individuals to try to work their way out of. So that's just something to think about. I'm gonna look at a couple comments real quick. The FMCSA. FMCSA just shut down the idea of automated trucks. Yeah, see, I ain't real informed on that right now. Uh I was looking at some other stuff about the weather and just a few different things. But yeah, I ain't heard much about the FMCSA and that automated truck deal. What's going on with that running warrior? Let me know what's the deal on that. you for bringing up. And I'm skipping over some of y'all comments. I'm gonna go back. It's just the way my feed's showing up. I ain't trying to jump over y'all. Running Warrior is my boy. But I'm gonna go back. Generational wealth in today's content. You are the only one that operates on the YouTube platform that spoke of this. Continue respectfully speaking on this. Definitely. Appreciate you, Running Warrior. Yeah, I mean, because that always comes up, and yeah, just my opinion, you're going to do that using this as a stepping stone and then, moving into something else that will be more passed downable, if that's a word. I don't think so. If you're here right now, you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button for me one time. That was West Side. I was just over on the West Side recently. Appreciate you for tapping in. West Side of Chicago in the building. What Slick talk about? Hold on. Who had girlfriend problems? The owner operators? Yeah. That's been a thing in the space. The women been giving these guys hell. Yeah, making them turn them trucks around, go back home. They say they gonna leave. They packing their stuff right now. Yeah. That'll always get them to turn that truck around. They say they packing their stuff up. What else we got? Let's see what else we got in the building. When those trucks break down, they can't put out the triangles. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that definitely make a lot of sense, Running Warrior. That's what I was kind of thinking myself. Like, it's certain tasks that they not gonna be able to complete. I mean, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, in my opinion, you gotta kind of have a driver on hand. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think it's been a solid stream. I ain't getting out of here just yet, but I appreciate everybody that graced the stream. And it seemed like I think we had close to 30 people in here, at one point, somewhere around in that range. It might have got up over 30 people. I'm not 100% sure. But if you here to this point and you haven't hit the like button, yeah, do me a solid and, hit the like button one time. And yeah, it's difficult, transitioning. And that's why I wanted to touch on a lot of these topics because they always come up when individuals reach out pertaining to starting a business. Something else that I'll talk about really quickly. We ain't gonna be here too much longer, maybe a little while, but some individuals have, as Slick was just stating, girlfriend issues. Some people have habits or tendencies that won't allow them to be great. Let's just be honest today. You can't be drunk all day in a truck. You can't be high all day in a truck. And a lot of these warehouses now, crazy as it may sound, allow their employees to indulge, at least here in the Midwest. Of course, not on the shop floor, but a lot of manufacturers, Amazon included, as long as they don't indulge at work, they're allowed to indulge in certain activities that you are not allowed to indulge in while in a truck. So that's something to think about as well. If you have some type of circumstance where you can't be in a truck for 12 plus hours a day and function and maintain, it may not be for you. The warehouses and some of they take on things right now and I see it, in a bunch of different areas at a bunch of different manufacturers, like I said, Amazon included, but it's allowed, due to different laws that's been implemented. So, that's something to think about as well. You got to be focused out here on a day-to-day basis. And like Slick said, a woman, a lot of guys have problematic women. If you got a woman where, and everybody, you go in the gym and you tell your old lady, hey, I'm gonna be in here about an hour. I'll hit you when I come out. And on the 59th minute, she calling your phone. I thought you said you was gonna call me back in an hour. Bro, you're not gonna do good in the truck. And everybody know women like that. They just overzealous, like, if you say an hour, it better be an hour. It better not be an hour and 2 minutes. She tripping. Now you into it with her. She got attitude. She ain't really leaving you. She just mad. And you got to figure it out. Like, that don't go well when you in a truck, especially far away from home, where you cannot get back to that particular individual, because a lot of that stuff got to be handled in person. You arguing over the phone, you driving all crazy, you done cussed out the broker. Like, that's not their problem. So that's just something to think about, with, wanting to just drive a truck in general, over the road. You can't get out there. You got to be able to be alone. The best people that, attain the highest level of success, with this, they like self-starters. They're able to be, by themselves. Sometimes in unfamiliar places. Sometimes for days at a time. So see, this is all stuff that you need to think about, when you jumping out here. And men know what type of woman they dealing with. He knew when he started out that he wasn't going to do well, with the type of woman he had in trucking, but it was just that he figured he could make it work. If you got a woman that, let's be straight, she cheat all the time. People deal with that. Some people got women, they know they be cheating, they still be staying with them, hoping they change. And the woman keep cheating, causing them stress and dismay. Can't deal with that out on the road. You got to be secure, that you can do your job, focus, and, come home, everything gonna be intact. Because, yeah, if you're trying to chase your woman around and keep tabs on her, it's just a recipe for disaster in the long run, and men do encounter that. You see a lot of men will go out on the road, and within 3 months, you see culture, a genre in the YouTube space as well, the woman leaving. And 9 times out of 10, the woman was probably already on her way out of there anyway. You just didn't know. You see what I'm saying? She wasn't that into you. Let's keep it real. Like, she wasn't that into you. She was on her way out anyway. When you got in that truck, she figured she might well leave. Only reason she probably was staying because you was there watching. Keep it real. So this is what a lot of guys will deal with. Then they go out on the road and that woman gone. I've seen this since I've started. Even guys in cargo vans, they'll go out 3 months in. I lost my old lady. She gone. But I talked about that earlier in the stream. If you just tuning in, go back and watch it. Sometimes these women be with you and they be wanting to be with somebody else. You just a placeholder. And this ain't life content. It's just real. Sometimes it just, it was going to happen regardless. That's the point I'm making. So, you have that. Men, they need to be more aware, pay attention. She was leaving anyway. You just never noticed because you're busy doing other stuff. And then sometimes you have men that, don't necessarily, people in general, they might not even want a person until they feel like so. So yeah, it's just crazy out here. Just make sure that everything on the home front is secure. I ain't gonna go deep off into and off topic. Make sure that your home front is secure financially, emotionally. All of that's gonna matter in order, because you would hope that you could get out here and run a truck locally and be home every night, cuddled up. Most of us, that's not our reality. It's not. You're not going to be able to be home every night. So, you got to decide what's most important. Just another thing you'll see, individuals will come out here and they'll be out for a period of time, but it'll get so bad on the home front that they have to go back. The trucking company is essentially destroying their household. So I'm just being honest. We see this on a day-to-day basis, and it's something to think about, because you don't want to invest a whole bunch of money into, starting a business, getting equipment, hiring drivers, and so forth. And the reason why you fail be your relationship. You know, Whether you be a man or a woman, women deal with this too. They might be dealing with, I don't know, some day. It's just so many different scenarios. And like I said, I don't want to go down those rabbit holes. Individuals do try to get me to, I have family members, friends, and so forth. They try to push me into doing like lifestyle type of content. And you missing your beat. This is what you good at. But that stuff get dramatic, it get messy, and so forth. But I have individuals that have been pushing me for years to talk more about just life in general. And yeah, I just, it get hairy. Those conversations be getting hairy. People be getting offended. They be upset. They don't want to know the truth about their women. They don't want to know that. Mm. So let's see what we got. Ready Warrior, what you holler about over there? Let me know. What you what you holler about? Yeah, man. But yeah, it's just crazy, and you know, you got to stay on your P's and Q's out here, man. You got to stay on your P's and Q's out here. I'm looking through these comments. I like that I'm able to bring you guys up and kind of just, shout you guys out. And real time. Yeah, that's real. That's real, because I've talked about this as well. Trucking is a lifestyle. Another thing I've talked about is it's not as easy as it's made out to be on the internet. It does take a special type of woman to deal with essentially a truck driver. I mean, that's what we are. We drive trucks. So truck drivers, it is. And then truck drivers get the bad rap with or without good cause. Some of us bring it on ourselves, so it's just like it does. I agree with that, Running Warrior. It does. And you got to make sure, that that's that special type of woman, because yeah, it could get tricky. It could get tricky. And like I said, you don't want to invest all those blood, sweat, and tears into something and then end up, having to shut it down due to the will of someone else, whether be you you're a man or a woman. Everybody got a significant other. So, it just kind of is what it is. That's what I said. They knew. They were aware. They just thought they could make it work. Maybe they thought they was gonna get to the money, and that was money don't change. Man, look, when a person want out, they want out. It ain't nothing you could change to, it either is or it ain't. Like I say, if they ain't that into you, they just ain't that into you. And I see that a lot. Like, people will be with you, they want to be with somebody else. Mentally they somewhere else. They laughing and giggling with you, but when you gone, they fantasize about something. Yeah, it's real. I'm gonna stop talking about that. I'm out. I'm done with that for the day. That's a nighttime, live screen. Oh man, what I miss? What I miss before we get out of here? Yeah, about 10 more minutes, maybe less, and we gonna go ahead and get out of here. KMB, I think I missed you, man. What's happening? Appreciate you tapping in from the shy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Y'all let me know what y'all think of this new style live stream that I'm doing. Like I said, I think it's a lot more engaging for the stream. Let's see what we got here. No, but excuse me. I appreciate everybody that fell through and graced the stream. If you haven't hit the like button at this point, do me a favor and hit the like button one time on your way out. And hold on. What he say? That he ain't say cooling. He ain't never say cool. Oh man, I got that man. I needed that, man. I needed that one. That's funny, man. But nah, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that fell through and graced the stream. I think it was a really good one. Like I said, if you haven't hit the like button thus far, do me a solid, hit the like button for me one time. Drop a comment on your way out, and yeah, man, I got a bunch of these. I got a bunch of these lined up, and they in the works. So, hold on, I prefer this all inclusive style versus only shop talk. Me too, man. I'm gonna start, getting off topic a little more. Like I said, I've been pushed for a long time, to do more lifestyle content. And yeah, it'll definitely get me way more animated than I am with just the educational type of content. But it get messy, man. It just, yeah, man. The last part of my work day. Man, gratitude, man. I appreciate you for dropping that in the chat, man. I hope that, you know, other individuals as well, you know, they enjoyed the stream. Like I said, we got up to 31 people, I believe, which was a record for my live streams. And the more I do and the different features that I add, it'll, you know, up the engagement. As you guys can see that I'm implementing and working on a bunch of different stuff. I'm putting a lot of time into, you know, just upgrading the channel and the experience. And, you know, it's all done by me. So that's a beautiful thing. You know, I appreciate everybody that, you know, graces the stream. As I stated, they get bigger. You know, I also got long form content. I don't like 3 or 4 videos. If you have not checked those out and you're watching right now, go check those out as well. You know, I plan to keep dropping on both ends, you know, live and on the long form, you know, pre-recorded content. But yeah, it's been a really good stream. I definitely got to touch on everything that I wanted to touch on. Yeah, we gonna get it together, man. The channel coming along, man. It's gonna get greater later, as they say. But yeah, I'm gonna end this here. It's been real. I appreciate everybody that graced the stream. And man, you guys, y'all have a, you know, they say this weather is about to get crazy. So just prepare accordingly and, you know, do what you will to, you know, get through it if you're gonna be out here running. And so as usual, you know, y'all stay safe out there. I appreciate y'all for gracing the stream. Hit the like button on the way out. Hit the like button on the replay as well. Let me know if you made it to this point. And yeah, I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all have a good one and stay safe out there in all this crazy weather. And yeah, appreciate you. Peace.